You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
Topics. Top opinions presented in current sports.
Okay, and we're back to another edition of Topics on this beautiful Wednesday.
What's going on? What's going on? What's 21?
21 episodes in.
That's a lot of episodes, man.
We getting it going, ain't we?
5 months.
Wow. Listen, man, and all graces to God and our fans. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Tone Taylor.
I'm Chris Harris. What's going on, everybody?
We bring you that raw, real, and respectable sports talk. But let's get to it, man. We have to get right to this. This is the reason why I'm wearing my nice jacket today, because we need to talk some respectful talking today. This is what I need, some respectful talking.
So you should have told me. I would have dressed more appropriate for the
Well,
occasion.
listen, it was a spur of the moment because it was a spur of the moment because you text me some things and you know. And
what did I text you?
Well, basically we were going back and forth on Instagram a little bit.
Just now?
A little while ago.
But it had nothing to do with the
it had a lot to do with respect value. But we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
That's why I put my jacket
I don't
on
think it
'cause I
was
wanna be
disrespectful,
respectful.
but okay. I don't think what I said was disrespectful. All right.
Anytime we're gonna talk about that.
It's not disrespect, but all right.
I mean, you may feel that way, but it is.
It's not.
But let's
All
get right to it.
Go ahead. Get right into
Playoff
it.
LeBron.
All right, let's get right into it. You want to get right into this? Get right into it.
All right, so let's talk about this first. How
Yeah.
much has this postseason changed the narrative of LeBron James in the clutch?
It hasn't.
Has it?
It hasn't.
Not at all?
Nah. 2 years ago solidified anything you had a question about. Anything clutch was done 2 years ago.
Really?
Was done 2 years ago. Was done 2 years ago.
But see, I don't look at it like that.
Anything with him being clutch was done 2 years ago.
Why is that?
What is more clutch than you beating? So what makes you the best team year by year? What makes you the best team?
Year by year?
Yeah.
When you want to go by record?
I'm asking you. How do you indicate each year by year what is the best team? Record, right?
Record.
Mm-hmm. So arguably, not only did you were down 3-1, right, to the team with the best record of the year. You were down 3-1 to the team with the best record ever. And you won. I don't know what is more clutch than that in terms of the conversation clutch.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So anything else that he's done in the clutch is extra. Is it cool to look at? Yeah. Is it fun to talk about? Yeah. But does it make him more clutch? No. Nothing makes him more clutch than what he did 2 years ago, in my opinion.
Okay. But let me take your narrative and speaking on what he did, taking a team from 3 down, beating the team which has the best record ever. He's always been a player that gained respect and notoriety because he does what he does within those first 46 minutes of a game. He's always been known to do what he does in the first 46 minutes of a game. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. When I understand what you're saying though, that is clutch on another level. When people say clutch though, they always come back to the factor of what he does in the end of games. That's been a lot of things. That was something that was knocked on him for many years because he couldn't hit the game winner or this, that, and the third. Which
I'm glad you're bringing this up too.
Stats come into the fact that he has hit quite a few now.
He has more combined than Mike and Kobe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has more combined in the playoffs than Mike. You're talking about game winners, right?
Yeah, game winners. When we talk about game winners, shots in the last, 30 seconds, or is it last minute, whatever the situation is, he does now have more than Kobe and Mike combined. I give it to him. So, I mean,
my whole thing is right with the clutch. With that, I'm glad you brought that point up, right? I think it's harder to be phenomenal for 46 minutes than it is to make a shot with 10 seconds left. As a player, it's harder. How many times have we see it all the time? We see it all the time.
What do you mean we see it?
We see it all the time. How many times have we seen a guy go have a terrible 46 minute? He had a terrible 47 minutes, and then in the 48th minute he makes 2 shots. Now all of a sudden he's clutch. No, I think to be clutch, you got to dig deeper. It's harder to be good for 46 minutes than it is to be good for 2 minutes, right?
I think it's the opposite.
Nah.
I think you very rarely see someone of that caliber, of a player's caliber. A clutch player is not, you don't usually see a clutch player be dead cold throughout the game and able to hit 2 shots at the end of the game or the game winner, unless it's luck. But for somebody to do it on a consistent basis, or is able to take that shot.
That's my point. It's harder. That's what I'm saying. You very rarely see it because the people who are in those positions, if you're having a bad 46 minutes, 9 times you're not taking that shot anyway.
Clutch players do.
Who has had a bad 46 minutes regardless
then
of
you're
the
gonna
fact?
have to go through history. And
But that's my point. You don't see it.
I don't see your aspect of it. I really don't. I really don't.
In order to be clutch, I feel like you had to have. It's harder to be clutch or be in a must-win game. It's harder to be clutch for 40. I mean, it's harder to be more productive for 46 minutes than it is to be for 2 minutes or to make a shot.
I think you need that other gene. There's a different type of energy. There's a different type of stigma that you have. A different spirit, heart is different from that last 2 minutes. Just like at the end. All right, for example, you at the free throw line. You can go 10 for 10 throughout the 46 minutes of that game. Game is you're down 1. You're at the line for 2. Let's just say 5 seconds left on the clock.
And you miss one, you're not clutch.
If you miss one or if you miss both, that's not you need a different type of gene. There's different plays that can step up and hit that shot. You've seen best players that have great percentages choke, freeze once they get to that line. I think it's a different aspect of you. Every player does not have that. It's difficult. It's nerve-wracking to get to that line or hit that game-winning shot. Everybody does not possess that. It comes with a confidence level, and I think he's gotten that now. That confidence level, like he knows he is the best player on the planet.
So how long has he had this when did he develop? Now you're saying now. So when did this become about? Like now you're saying now in 2018.
I'm gonna be
honest. He's
honest.
Been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen the difference in LeBron maybe 3 or maybe 4 years ago. I just seen his swagger, everything about him, how he dribbled down the court. Like he knew it was a point in time. Maybe like 3-4 years ago. I seen it. He just had that whole demeanor like, I know you cannot mess with me. I know I am the best player. It was just everything about him was different. It's different from when he was in Miami. It was a different it factor with him.
Yeah.
That's where I seen it.
So that's not more clutch than him taking. That's more clutch than. So him making a game winner is more clutch than you taking the team, you knocking off the defending champs, and you taking the team with a whole bunch of people you can't remember to the NBA Finals.
I feel that's a different aspect of clutch, but I also think there was aspects that were involved in that whole coming down from 3-1. There was different aspects in that. But I won't take nothing away from LeBron because regardless of those aspects, he still had to win.
So how does he change? So in your eyes, has he changed the narrative of him being clutch?
In my option, yes.
It's changed his narrative.
Yes, I feel
he's even more clutch now.
Yes, I think he boosted himself into a clutch player. Yes, down the stretch. Okay, I'm gonna take this, and you haven't seen it because he would defer to Kyrie for these shots. Now, maybe he didn't have to do it before. Maybe that was the factor. Now that he has to do it, and now maybe he feels more confident that he's taking these shots.
But he's taking these shots before Kyrie.
All right, but it was different. Like, this is the first time back to back. Like, he hit 2 game winners this week from the Game 7 and Game 4. Game 3, I'm sorry.
Game 3
and Game 7 against Indiana. Those are his first game winners in the playoffs, regardless, except for the one against Orlando.
He hit one against Indiana. That wasn't Game 7. He hit one in like Game 3 or Game 4 in Indiana.
Not Game 7. I'm not sorry.
It was Game 3.
7. It was Game 3.
So both Game 3s.
Okay.
So that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then the only other one was, I could look at the difference between him taking that shot and him taking that shot he hit against Orlando.
So what about the jumper he hit against the first year? The first time they beat San Antonio.
There was still time on the clock.
So that's not
It
clutch.
wasn't a buzzer beater. I'm not saying it's not clutch. I'm looking
You're
at
just
him.
talking about specifically
I'm looking
buzzer beaters.
But just his whole swag, his whole demeanor. Like, he wants to take this shot. You can see the confidence in him taking the shot. Like, I got this. Before, it was, okay, maybe should I defer? Okay, I don't have to. I can't defer. Right now, I have to go do it. It was a difference. I see a difference in it.
I think the block was more clutch than any shot he's going to ever make in his life.
Defensive. Okay.
I think that block is going to be more clutch, the most clutch play he's ever made in his career. More than any shot. That's just my opinion.
I don't.
I'm not saying
I
it's
won't
right or
take
wrong.
it-
I'm
I
not
will
saying
not
it's not
take
wrong.
anything. I will not take anything away from that.
That's just me. But I don't think it changes the narrative of him being clutch. I think after that 3-1, down 3-1 against the team with the best record ever,
I hear you. I also think there was narratives in that, but
there's
regardless of the
always
fact,
this. We're not talking about the
for him to do it. For him to
he
do it,
has to do it. Whether
Absolutely.
Draymond Green got teched out, whether
Absolutely.
Andrew Bogut went down, that's out of his control. You still got to do it
Not a problem.
when you're up 3-1. It's not an excuse.
I got you. So, this been the buzz all week.
Blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
It's blasphemous.
It's going crazy.
Blasphemous.
It's on social networks. It's on media outlets. It's everywhere. Barbershops. Everything is going crazy right now.
We wouldn't be doing. I don't want to talk about this, but we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't talk
Absolutely.
about this,
Absolutely. Has LeBron James now passed Michael
right?
Jordan?
No. Not even no. No. I'm taking the. I listen. When I would listen, I'm usually when we talk about LeBron and we talk about Kobe, talk about Mike, we would talk from a fan's perspective.
Okay.
Right.
So we're gonna take the bias.
We got to take the bias out of these things, right? Let's take the bias out of these things, right?
Okay.
Michael Jordan has. So my thing is, right, a big thing for me is Finals MVPs.
Okay.
Finals MVPs are big for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't give Steph Curry the credit for the 2 rings because he doesn't have Finals MVP in neither one of those. You know, I think when you get Finals MVP, that's kind of like, yeah, you weren't just you could be a bystander. Like, it puts you in the same category as a bystander.
Okay.
You know, almost. Like, so the Finals MVPs are big for me because that's like the stamp, like the chip, and then you get another stamp on top of that. Michael Jordan has this is what takes it away, right? Michael Jordan has 6 rings. We know that. He has 6 Finals MVPs. For people who may not know that, right? He has 6 Finals MVPs. So every time he's gone to the finals, he's been the best player in the finals because usually the best player in the finals gets what? The Finals MVP. Correct? Is that the fair assessment, right?
Absolutely.
Because we don't know. We're not in the room. We don't do the voting. Most impressive thing is Michael Jordan has never played in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. So it goes back to my point of being clutch. I think it's harder to not allow that to go 7 where I'm getting you out of here earlier. I got to be more consistent to the point where I'm not even letting it go 7. I'm being that dominant from tip off. That's, to me, that's more clutch. Going back to the first point. But 14-time All-Star, right? 10-time NBA first team, right? Listen, Defensive Player of the Year. That kind of trumps
Bingo.
it. That
Bingo.
kind of trumps it.
Bingo.
I think that kind of trumps it because, all right, because you know we do, and then you can bring LeBron in because LeBron impacts the game in 5 statistical categories almost, right? Right. The defensive player is kind of like leave him alone, right? But these last 2 stood out to me like, and Kobe is very close to this, is 10-time first team all defense. Right? So I'm gonna give credit when credit's due. Like I'm not being biased. This is the fact. 10-time NBA scoring champion. So that means to tell me every time you were first team all defense, you also you were the offensively the best player in the NBA. No, stop it. No. And a lot of my Instagram has been going crazy. I posted this. I love my guys who've been commenting. They like LeBron is the GOAT. But everybody who's saying LeBron is the GOAT, and I love y'all, y'all were born in either 99 or 98. So you didn't even get to the Jordan factor. The only reason why we can have this conversation is because the dominance of Michael first. Now, however, there's certain things that LeBron brings to the table that make you be like, you know what? We've never seen this. Down 3-1, we've never seen this, right? Absolutely. We've never seen. All right, so let's take a decade. from 2000. Let's take this decade, right? Let's just let's
2018.
take 2010, the start of a new decade.
Okay.
The only thing that's been consistent in this decade, in this sport, is LeBron James being in the finals. Just let that sink in because the decade isn't over yet. Okay. So even if he makes it to the finals this year and doesn't make it next year or the year after that, 80% of the decade, LeBron James was in the finals.
Absolutely.
Now that's dominance over a decade.
Absolutely.
That's fact. Second all-time playoff triple doubles, third most three-point field goals made in the playoffs. Stuff like that adds on to it, but people forget Mike stopped playing in 14. Well, Mike, how many years Mike played?
14 years.
14 years. So every year he played was an all-star.
Absolutely.
Come on. He's not better than Mike yet. He's not better than Mike. Go ahead and answer the question. He's not better than Mike.
Just to piggyback off that, I mean, I totally agree he has not passed Mike. Your points were very accurate. Let me also put another twist to it. If you look, everybody throws stats out there. He's going to have someone on scoring list, pass him on rebounds, pass him on assists. Basically, he's going to be tops of the list on every statistical category. I understand he's maintained the dominance for 15 years, and it will probably be 3 or 4 more years. Which, okay, I totally understand. I'm not taking anything away from that. But let's not also understand. I don't want to get into what era they played in and this, that, and the third.
We're not going off that.
We're not going to go off that. But I also want to throw out there is they both maintain dominance, right? So along with the facts that you threw out there, let's throw out some other facts. LeBron has 4 MVPs. Mike has 5. Right?
5.
Okay. Jordan beat 20 50-plus win teams in the playoffs. LeBron has 10. Okay?
That's kind of
And
like
11.
That's a tough stat to throw out there. That's a tough stat to throw out there.
Also understand,
okay.
Everybody says, oh, he's going to the finals. Okay, I won't take nothing away, but let's also put everything in perspective, okay? Jordan led the league in steals 3 times in a row. I mean, not in a row, but 3 times. LeBron has never. LeBron has 1 scoring title, and like you said yourself, Jordan has 10. Jordan has never had a player average, because they always go say, LeBron didn't have anybody with him, or when he wins, his teams is not as good. Let's put this in perspective. Yes, he had Scottie Pippen, who is a Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive guards.
He's a Hall of Famer. There's nothing else to talk about.
Point blank, period.
Hall of Famer.
Jordan has never had another player average more than 22 points in the finals.
Still a lot of points, but okay.
Never had.
Okay.
Still okay.
Okay. It's hard to average.
LeBron had Kyrie, who averaged 28 when they did win that championship,
right.
And he also had D Wade, who averaged 26.
Okay. Right.
So basically, those are different factors along with your factor that I throw in there to say, you know what? No, he has not passed the goal yet. Yes, everybody's going to, these millennials, they're going to throw out the fact, oh, his numbers. Your numbers are going to be up there like another dominant player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He dominated for 3 decades.
3 decades.
3 decades. He dominated from the point he came in to the point he left. His numbers are going to be astronomical. That's what you're chasing, okay? Because his dominance.
At least 2 decades, the 70s and 80s.
At least he came in the 60s and he won in '69 with the Bucks. I believe it was '69.
Was it 69 or was it 71?
Well, we have to look that up. No,
Okay.
I think the Knicks won.
Or the Knicks won in 71.
So, but maintain dominance. So I understand that, and I get it. So, but we both agree. But we have to throw a little twist to that. But we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about that next LeBron and Kobe twist.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Here on IBNX Radio, listening to Topics.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's
Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Topics here on IBNX Radio. We are now moved past the is LeBron better than Mike talk.
Because he's not.
He's not.
He's not.
But we have put a little twist to it. Has he now passed Kobe? And I'm gonna let Antonio speak first.
You want me to speak first, but I really need your input on this because
I'm gonna give you my input, but I gave you my input first on the whole LeBron Mike thing.
But this is different.
Why is it different?
Because this is Kobe. This is the reason I have my jacket on today.
So let's talk about it.
This is
Go
the reason
ahead.
I have my jacket.
Go ahead. And
You
anything
told-
I'm not saying is not disrespectful.
You
said
he's
said
past
that Mike. I said he's past Kobe.
He's
yes.
past Kobe.
I have.
I didn't know why, and I don't know how.
Okay.
So can you tell me how and why? Because I didn't know how you came up with that.
4 MVPs. Kobe has 1. Kobe played 20 years, by the way. Kobe played 20 years, by the way, right? The 5 rings, and I brought it back to the Finals MVP thing.
Okay.
2 Finals MVPs. He has 1 more NBA All-Star Game MVP. Kobe has more first team all defenses, right?
12.
It's 9.
12 all defensive teams.
So he's 12. So he has more than Mike.
12.
Good for him. Well, I'm not. No. Like
no,
I'm taking
I
a
get
bias out of this. I'm not.
Okay,
Listen,
okay.
I'm not. What I'm saying is
Listen,
not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be
I'm
funny.
glad we're taking a bias.
Only 2 scoring championships. I feel like for Kobe, like for we to give him so much praise, right? For we to give him so much praise, he was this offensive juggernaut. But in only one aspect of offense. Putting the ball through the hoop, all Kobe. All Kobe. If I got to pick between who I want to take the last shot, LeBron or Kobe, obviously I'm going with Kobe Bryant. Despite who has more game winners.
I'm glad you said that as well.
Despite all that. The ball has to go through the basket.
I'm glad you said that.
The ball has to go through the basket. Going with Kobe.
Okay.
Right? But down, like I said, the things he's done, down 3-1. I feel like the first 3 he won, right? And the one he lost, with Shaq was the focal point of those earlier Laker teams, right? Shaq was the LeBron, like as soon as LeBron came to Miami, it was LeBron's team, right? We held him under the microscope and we held him solely responsible for those losses, right?
Okay.
Despite not 2 other All-Stars, 2 other Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Despite that, we held him solely responsible. Why weren't we able to hold Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh solely responsible, right? So for him to be solely responsible for every finals outcome,
Okay.
and for him to get 3, I feel like with Kobe, the first 3, Kobe wasn't held. If we're able to lose, like the Detroit loss, Kobe wasn't held responsible. The only one he was held responsible for was the Boston loss.
I wouldn't say that, but okay.
That was the one he was held responsible for.
All right.
As somebody, come on, Kobe, that was you. You see what I'm saying? I just think, and it goes back to my point, 8 finals over a decade. The dominance of the decade. The consistency of dominance where you're getting back. You're playing till June. Every time we play a game, we play 3 games in a weekend and we dead. You're playing until June, maybe even August when you played in 2 Olympics. For that long and to still be that dominant and take team after team after team with the help. A lot of people say he's had a lot of All-Stars or former All-Stars. In Miami, he had Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby was a ghost. He made Mo Williams an All-Star. He had vegan Ray Allen. Ray Allen had to turn vegan almost just about to stay in the league just to stay healthy.
What does that mean?
Older version of Ray Allen. Ray Allen wasn't an All-Star anymore at the point where he joined the Heat.
Okay.
Those are 3 All-Stars.
Okay.
A Shaq who was a mirror of himself.
That's when he went to Cleveland.
Those are 4 All-Stars already that you're naming that were just like they were mirrors of they weren't all-stars still at the point where they joined LeBron. So you can't really throw that out there.
Okay.
But that my whole thing is the dominance of the decade. The dominance of him in year 15 still doing the things that he's doing. What he did to the Raptors, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan combined scored only 2 more points than LeBron James in that series.
Absolutely. And they shot a worse field goal percentage.
So I think for him in year 15, for the complete dominance, because he's been the most dominant player in the decade.
Okay.
That's why I have him over Kobe.
Okay. Wasn't disrespectful at all.
I told you it wasn't about this. I took the bias out of it.
I appreciate that.
I took the bias out of it.
So, everybody knows, of course, I'm a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the main thing is that we spoke about before, take the bias out of it. So, it all comes down to what I look at, the eye test when it comes with me. Because, of course, at the end of the day, the numbers are going to be astronomical for LeBron because he's been dominant and he's continued to be dominant through all these years. Because if I went through just those numbers, I would put him above Jordan as well. But I'm not going to do that. So when I looked at LeBron and Kobe, what I take from it, first off, let me put it like this. LeBron has showed me something these playoffs that I haven't seen before from him. And it boosted me. It made me respect him even more.
So what have you seen from him this playoffs that you haven't seen?
I told you
before?
everything. His demeanor, his swagger, I seen a little killer in him. I never seen a killer in him. I've seen spurts, but you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get the ball on this block. I'm gonna put you on my hip, and I'm gonna score every time until y'all able to stop me. And if I miss, I'm going to keep shooting. I felt throughout his career he was mainly focused on field goal percentage. I don't want to shoot too much. If he misses his first 2 shots, you won't see LeBron taking the next jump shot. Jordan's going to shoot that next jump shot if he's open. Kobe's going to shoot that next jump shot if he's open. LeBron will hesitate. Let me pass it. Oh, he's being a team player. Okay. Sometimes I need you to take that shot.
But you don't think he's the better playmaker out of the 3? I think that's what kind of takes it away from him. Takes away from that because he was able to still, like when the shot isn't falling, he's still able to impact the game in all these other categories, all these other
regardless
ways.
of the fact, if his jump shot was not clicking, his defender rested. Yeah, you're passing the ball, but if there's no double coming, sometimes when there's no double coming, attack that man. Go to the basket. Sometimes he won't do it. Nobody can stop LeBron to the basket. Not one. No one. No one can stop him. He will take plays off, pass it. You know you have a weaker defender. Okay, you missed your first 2 jump shots. Take it to the basket. Put your back to the basket. Put him in a post. He wasn't doing that before. But
I'm gonna ask you a question.
let me not take anything. LeBron, dominant. Pure domination. I take nothing away. He's better all around than Kobe. Better all around than Kobe.
But he hasn't passed Kobe.
A powerful force. Just because you're a dominant all-around player does not mean you're better than somebody. Magic was a better all-around, in certain aspects, but you wouldn't take him over certain players.
Because of the impact.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now
For what you like, yeah. I get what you're saying.
LeBron, dominant. Okay, the reason I like Kobe, he's a complete player, right? So, offensively, let's move to offensively. He's a savant offensively, and I seen a good comparison, and I like this. If you had, let's take LeBron and Kobe. If there were 2 pitchers, right? LeBron dominant, one of the best pitchers in the game, but he has 2 pitches, fastball and a curve. Dominates with those. He dominates. Then you have Kobe. Kobe has every pitch. He has a fastball. He has a curve. He has a sinker. He has a changeup. High fast, low fast. He's a savant.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around.
Offensively.
I think it's the other way around offensively.
No. What skill does LeBron have offensively? Is he a good? Does he have a go-to move?
Nah, you talking about offensively? Like skill set or
I'm
offensively
skill set.
impact?
Skill set.
Okay.
I'm talking about straight skill set.
Okay. I agree with you there.
Straight skill. So when I look at that, I'm looking at, okay, I have a pitcher that gives me every pitch. Okay. I have a pitcher that dominates with just 2 pitches. I'm not taking anything away. He dominates. He's arguably the best pitcher in the league with just 2 pitches. Okay. LeBron, like I said before, you can rest on defense. Kobe, you never rested. Without the ball, he's moving. With the ball, he's moving. You don't know what he's going to do. He has a go-to move. You can never rest on defense when it came to Kobe. Defensively, everybody praises LeBron defensively in his prime years because he's not as good as a defender now as he was before. And everybody says, oh, he's taking more of an offensive load. This is why I bring the Jordan aspect, and that was, like you said before, he had 10 defensive, all defensive teams,
LeBron
and he has 10 scoring
5.
titles.
Yeah.
So he was the best player offensively and one of the best defensives in the league. So regardless of the fact he was doing it on both ends of the court.
Right.
Now LeBron's taking more of an offensive role, and his defense has slipped. Okay, he's in his year 15, but let's not take away his defense because he's in year 15 because we're not taking away his offense in year 15.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So I give the domination to LeBron. You know, I just feel Kobe was a more versatile and complete player when it comes to offensively and defensively. That's why I like him. I felt you never rested. You never rested.
Defensively, I'm going to disagree with you.
You think LeBron is a better defender, on-ball defender?
Nah, but that's just one. But I think you're taking. But what I'm saying is right, and this is where we're disagreeing is because you're taking one specific thing in a whole topic.
Okay.
You know, with the whole triple doubles, the ability to pass, make other guys around you better.
Okay.
You know, I feel like with LeBron's ability, he's allowed guys who are subpar. He's kind of made them like.
Who's subpar? And everybody
J.R.
says
Smith.
How is J.R. Smith subpar?
it's-
All right, but everybody says this. He makes players around him better.
I think so. I
Okay.
think he makes players around him
What
better.
players' numbers astronomically jumped with being with LeBron? He had specialty players that did special things, regardless if they with him or without him. He had shooters. They shot with him. They shot without him. Their numbers didn't jump. Everybody said, "Oh, he had subpar players," but he had pieces that fit with him. They built teams around him that was correct
because he was able to impact the game in so many ways.
I agree with you.
So that's my
I
thing.
take
Like
nothing away from
you're talking skill set. I'm talking impact.
Okay.
And then also
That's why you have him better. All
yeah,
right,
and defensively, right? Defensively and offensively, you know, LeBron is able to play more positions, which at the end of it is more physically taxing. Not only throughout the game, but throughout the year. It's more physically taxing. He's won championships starting at the power forward. He's dominated at the power forward.
Yeah, but the game is different
moments.
now. The game is different. You're saying he's starting at the power forward, but he's arguably guarding someone just as big as him at the power forward or the center. So
Which
you're
is
saying it's
physically taxing.
Why? Because your 4 is still shooting threes right now. You have that's what it is. The 4 is now a stretch 3. So I don't know. I can't say it's physically taxing on him because he's not.
It is because even if you put LeBron in the 90s, it's still the same defensive thing. You can go put yes, you can. You could go put you're not.
You put him in the 90s. He's guarding Karl Malone. Karl Malone is not at the 3-point line. He's in the post,
which is
he's
more
getting the
physically
ball.
tackling. Which I
Now,
love. But what I'm saying is LeBron James is able to guard those guys. Whereas a Kobe and a Mike, I would like to see if they would be down low, banging and fighting and still doing all that
But
stuff.
that his body physically.
You still
is
get
able for
tired.
that.
You still
I
get
understand
tired.
that, but I understand that. But it's totally different from a 6'8", 260 player playing in the post, guarding the post, than a 6'6", 210, 215, 225 player. It's totally different.
Okay.
But I take nothing away. I see LeBron has taken his game to another level, and I'll be honest with you.
At year 15, he's still playing the same minutes as he did his year 1.
He's never played 82 games. This is the first year he's ever played 82
minutes.
games. And 82
minutes, not games. Okay. Minutes.
Minutes. You're absolutely right.
Minutes, not games.
He
minutes.
led the league in minutes.
This year.
In
year 15.
Mm-hmm. And the second person was Donovan Mitchell, and he had him, I think,
in year 1.
40 minutes.
That's tough.
Absolutely. I take nothing away from that.
It's tough. Little stuff like
Nothing-
that.
I'll take nothing away from it.
Moving on to my brother. My brother.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even going to. You want to talk about the Raptors?
I mean, we have to.
Go ahead.
We have to.
Go ahead. No, DeMar DeRozan didn't have to. You shouldn't have been benched. No.
Basically, that's the question.
Bye, Dwayne
Everybody
Quasey. Bye.
should
Break up the Raptors team. Next. Go ahead. Your turn.
quick to the point.
Come on, man.
That was horrible. I think it's wrong.
Another point about LeBron, too. I'm glad we brought this up.
I think it was wrong
There's-
for Dwayne Casey.
What other teams have, like, just, and we all have it. Like, Michael Jordan just allowed a whole bunch of teams, like, you're not winning because of me.
Okay.
I think there's two teams that just haven't been able to get over LeBron hump. The Pacers and the Raptors.
And the Raptors. Mainly the Raptors, because they knocked them out.
But he's
last
beat the
3 years.
Pacers. But he's beat the Pacers. No, remember he swept the Pacers last year. And
Yeah,
then we
they took them to 7 this year. We have a call.
beat 'em.
While they set that up, you got straight to the point. You explained it.
Come on, man. You don't. The man you
Not the
paying
person.
$100 certain $1 million. You don't bench him the last 5 because you lost without him. So you might as well lose with him.
Absolutely. You're paying this is your go-to guy. You would not see, regardless, everybody says he was shooting bad. He was shooting. Okay, I've seen Kobe go 4 for 20, or I've seen Westbrook go 6 for 20. Or
And you
I've
keep him
seen-
out there because there might be that 7 field goal
sit
that
him,
you
but
need.
you need you
Agreed.
ride with the players that got
Agreed.
you to that point.
Agreed.
We have a caller? Okay, let's go to our caller. Caller, you're listening to Topics. You're on. What's up? What's your name?
Turn your computer off if you're listening.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Who's this?
Ty.
Ty? Oh, what's going on, Ty?
You knew I was going to call.
Listen, my brother Ty, let me just put this out there now. He's a huge LeBron fan, and I made sure I put this on Instagram so he can see it. When I say huge, we've been going back and forth for years. So, Ty, what you want to talk about? I already know what, but speak your mind, man.
Look, I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm not going to troll like I be doing the rest of them on social media, right? So when my man said, well, he makes players around him better,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And you said he has specialty players that did special things, like Ray Allen, who shot a 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he means make players better, he doesn't mean their numbers go out of control. He makes the game play. You haven't heard of Boobie Gibson playing good since LeBron left.
He's on Love and Hip Hop.
You haven't heard of Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole being the best defensive backcourt after LeBron left.
Okay. So you're
Bill
basically saying
Gauskas was an all-star when LeBron was there. He's not talking making Kevin Love be Kevin Love from. It's like you said, specialty plays are specialty things. If you on my team and I'm getting 30, you don't need to get 32. You can get 20, and you can get 15 instead of your usual 25, and we could be a collective unit because it's a basketball team. There's 6 of us out there. 10 of us out there.
okay.
So if we doing this, that's what we mean by makes players better. Now, my reason, in my opinion, humble opinion, why I think LeBron is the best ever is because he's been this good for at least 10 years.
And I said that, Ty. I did say that. I said for the decade.
Nobody
I said for
has.
the decade.
Nobody has the. We don't even know his peak at this point. We don't know how good. We don't know when he's gonna stop. He's 15 years in, and he's still an MVP candidate. When Mike left his squad, they won 55 games. When he was there, they won 57. The Bulls were good. When we say, oh, LeBron makes a good basketball play, and why would he pass it? That's the same thing that Jordan did for Kerr, for Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, and Julius Hodge.
Craig Hodges. But you're right.
Okay.
Absolutely right.
And I understand what you're saying, and I'm gonna flip it a little bit. So yes, he has specialty players. Yes, and I understand what both of you are saying. So with that being said, I feel personally I think great players are gonna make other players around them good regardless. Better. Team wise, I felt LeBron's impact made the team better. You gotta lower down. You gotta turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to, your TV or your computer.
Say it again.
You gotta lower. You gotta lower whatever that noise is in the background.
My bad.
Okay, there you go. All right, that's better. What I'm saying is this: I feel great players, which LeBron is, makes a team better. Just by him being on that court, the focus will always be on him. Yes, he is a great passer, one of the best passers in history, to be honest with you, because he's an all-around player. Especially, he's not afraid to give that pass up. He's willing to give that pass up. I understand it. But in the aspect of when he says, okay, he makes players around him better, I feel Jordan made players around him better. He may not have averaged as many assists as LeBron, but at the end of the day, we say, okay, Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole, where have they gone? Have they dominated? No, they didn't dominate on that team, but they did what they did. But if they went to another team that had a dominant player like LeBron, they could have sprouted or they could have done just as good. When B.J. Armstrong left the Bulls, where'd he go?
Charlotte.
What'd he do?
I don't know.
But where
Nothing.
Did, but
Nothing. Where did Tony
Kukoc
Kukoc do after
Mario
LeBron?
Chalmers
After Kobe.
and Jordan. Norris Cole went to
Pelicans.
The Pelicans to play with Anthony Davis.
Okay, but Anthony Davis is not. That's a post player that they didn't play inside out like that, and he wasn't at his peak yet.
He's still not at it.
But Anthony Davis was still 20 and 20 certified after his second
But
year.
it's a difference between his 20 and 10 or 20 and 12 and LeBron's 25, 8 and 8.
It's hard to.
But you said dominant player.
I don't think he was a dominant player yet. I don't think he was a dominant player yet. In that aspect
But I'm
of
saying,
willing
in
to.
this conversation with the LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, I don't even know if we're talking about Kobe, but
It's a
if
reason.
we're talking about the greatest ever, right?
Okay.
You could just see it. Like, for example, Kyrie Irving might be the best ball handler we've ever seen,
Okay.
right? The best ball handler we've ever seen, right? In this situation, when Kyrie was alone, they went the worst team in the league all 4 years. They got the first round pick, the first pick, pretty much every year.
Who? Oh, the guy.
LeBron gets
Okay.
there, and now Kyrie is, oh my God, it's Kyrie Irving. He's unstoppable. He gets to the Celtics, and he's regular Kyrie because he's hurt again like he was before LeBron got there.
Oh, but so wait. So he's regular Kyrie because now he gets.
But I
to
mean,
Boston,
regular
he
for
has
Kyrie,
much-
not regular NBA player, but he's regular. Like, he was hurt a lot.
But he got hurt when he was on
He was
Cleveland
one off the
with LeBron. There was a point in time he sat out
Yeah,
majority of
but
games, so
I'm saying
he's just injury
you
prone.
don't
Period.
heal up in 3 months. You still need time. It was a patella injury that was bothering him until that happened. What I'm saying is he goes right back to that.
But also understand, we're talking about a Kyrie Irving that was in his first 4 years in the league, right? First 3 or 4 years. He was still young. So now he got a player. I'm not taking anything from LeBron. In his 5th year, you start to see the marginal lift in players in their 5th, 6th, and 7th years. Okay? You'll start seeing the increase. But now it's even better because he does have LeBron. I don't take nothing away from him. But let's not take away the fact that when LeBron came back to Cleveland, yes, this was a horrible team before he got there, but he came there with a player that was averaging 20, and he brought in another player that was averaging 25 and 10, 25 and 12. And then they built around that. They took the same formula that he had when he went to Miami, and now he brought this formula here. And the X factor is LeBron, so that's why I don't take anything away from him. But I understand your aspect of it.
But I'm saying, like, if you take, I'm not saying Kyrie Irving was supposed to go to the finals his first 4 years. I'm talking about he was the worst team in the NBA. He wasn't the 8th best team in the East. With all that talent, you're not even good enough to be the 8th best team in the East by yourself.
With
LeBron,
okay.
his first 2 years, they missed the playoffs. He went to the playoffs his 3rd year, and he went to the finals his 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan didn't do that.
No, he won in his 6th, 5th or 6th.
Seventh.
Sixth.
Pimpin'.
Seventh year? Okay.
Seventh. He went in his 7th year.
Seventh. And then won 3 back
That's
to
what I'm saying.
back.
And then
Retired,
my
came back
problem
and won
is
3
we
again.
compare LeBron's 15 years to Michael Jordan's 6 championship years. Remember, there was 7 years before he won ice. Remember he scored 63 on Bird?
Okay.
That shit was crazy.
Okay.
But he lost that game. We don't ever talk about that game.
What? I mean, no, we talk. He was out in the first round. LeBron has never lost in the first round, so I give that to him. But also understand.
Forget
that, but now that goes
I'm
into
not
the
gonna go
era.
in the first round, nigga. That's a super stat.
Okay, but
That's like one of those
but now
super-
you're
that's
going
like a
into the
super
era.
stat.
But now you're going on into the era because now you talk about
One of
LeBron
the
had
most dominant
the
team
dominant-
in the 80s in the Eastern Conference with the Boston Celtics.
with Boston Celtics, and then you had a run of another dominant Detroit Pistons that were right behind the Celtics. So now you're looking at
No, my point in saying that was that you see how good Michael Jordan was and he couldn't win. We don't ever analyze that, regardless of how good the East was, how good it wasn't. He wasn't good.
But LeBron didn't win either
was
until
so
he got
good.
another alpha. He didn't win.
I'm talking about individual talent, like the individual part of the game. He scored 63 and he lost.
Okay.
Until he started facilitating is when he started to win.
All right, and LeBron took his team to the finals and got swept.
Yes, against 3 Hall of Famers.
Okay, now you bring that aspect in. Okay, Mike lost to 3 Hall of Famers in Boston, and he lost to 4 Hall of Famers in Boston, and then lost to 3 Hall of Famers in Detroit.
Individually, what did Mike do? He scored the ball, and that was it.
But see, but now you're bringing it
If we're
back to
talking
him
about me-
scoring. See, but
No, I'm
Ty, we
saying
got to
if we're
take a
talking
break,
about-
man. We
if
got
we're
to
talking
take a
about
break.
the best basketball player,
Ty,
I'm not even going to go on what Homeboy is winning and what LeBron's doing as far as accolades. Because if we're just going straight numbers, LeBron's beating him in every category.
That's when you go
except
numbers.
points.
That's when you go numbers. But Ty, we got to take a break, man.
All right, no doubt.
Thanks for calling.
I just had to
I
call
love
in
you,
to show
brother.
my boy some love.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Listen to the topics here on IBNX Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, each and every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. to JC Squared on the Air Show featuring Jason J-Boy Carey for the socialite JC Squared on the Air. Reason Monday is your new favorite day of the week. Music, special guest, celebrity birthday, the daily student segment, crazy holiday, and today in hip hop. IBNX Radio and the JC Squared on the Air Show. So much fun you didn't even realize you learned something. This message has been brought to you by Day Ray Media.
And we're back. You're listening to topics here on IBNX Radio. I want to appreciate Ty for calling in, voicing his opinion.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Ty. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty. Everybody that said they was going to call in and ain't call in, man, forget y'all.
Scared.
Not forget y'all.
They were scared.
Forget y'all.
They were scared. But let's move it on. Chris Paul. I'll give a round of applause for Chris Paul.
I'm keeping this all the way biased, by the way. I can't be unbiased the whole hour and a half. I got to be petty, I got to be light-skinned, and I got to be biased. At some point, here we go. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Chris Paul has, for
Finally.
the first time in his career,
For his career.
advanced
Finally.
to the conference finals. With a 39 point, was it 39?
39. He missed the 41. I was hoping he got the 41.
39-point game and 10 assists, 0 turnovers.
Again.
0 turnovers.
Again.
Is this the mountain CP3 had to climb for his legacy?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
I-
What was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
And will his run continue, or does his season end here?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one,
So-
right?
so,
That's a tough
I
one.
know-
The basketball mind, the basketball coach that I am, is running team. He's running team. But if you're asking me who I'm taking in this series, you know who I'm going with.
The Warriors, right?
Nah, you know that. You know who I'm going with. Listen, man, Chris Paul followed me at the Essence Music Festival on Twitter in 2010. I checked the other day if he's still following me on Twitter. He's still following your boy on Twitter. So for that, I'm definitely not going against the grain. But for his legacy, yeah, I feel like he could have made the conference finals a few times. But injuries. He was never that team. Any team that he was projected to do, they can go to the conference finals. They never were healthy. Never. None of those Clipper teams that could have went to the conference finals were never healthy. Either he got hurt or Blake got hurt. Now, I think the difference between everybody, what's the difference between those Clipper teams and this year? He has another perimeter basketball player. Where the perimeter responsibility is not solely responsible for he's not solely responsible for anything perimeter oriented, right? I think that's the goal. Chris Paul has made a certain big man prototype.
Okay.
Which and I'll give you the names.
I know you're going to go start. I know you're going to start with if I'm
Tyson Chandler.
Tyson Chandler. Absolutely.
From Tyson Chandler to DeAndre Jordan.
2.
To Clint Capella now. And people are taking those molds and just taking those molds. And now, as a big man in the NBA, you don't even need to score anymore. You just got to be able to stand by the rim, catch lobs, and block shots. And Chris Paul was able to do that.
Run the floor.
And run the floor. And you were able to do that. And I think Chris Paul was the first. And he's also guys like David West. He's giving David. People didn't really know who David West was, to be honest. What year was David West drafted?
05.
03 with LeBron James. Exactly. What exactly? So
Out of Xavier.
Out of Xavier, we know that because he got the tattoo. You think slick?
No, that's not why I know that.
Slick,
I thought his middle name was Xavier something.
Nah. But yeah, he drafted the 03 with LeBron James.
Okay.
So nobody would know that. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. I think that does he have a chance to beat the Warriors? Yes. Yes, I think he does. But the X factor of that series will not be Chris Paul. But we'll get into that. But go ahead. Yes, I think. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna straddle the fence. I'm not gonna play devil's advocate. He going to the finals.
Okay.
I'm a fan. He's going to the finals.
Okay.
Can I be a fan now of this, please?
Go ahead.
Out of the LeBron thing, we kind of kept the biasness out of it. Can I be a fan now? He's going to the finals. He's beating the Warriors. Yeah, he beat the Warriors.
I appreciate that. I feel this mountain was huge for him. In the aspect of him going down as one of the top 3 greatest point guards ever.
My man, hallelujah. My man, you went to church last night. I know you went to church.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Hey, so you took him to church with you finally? No?
No.
You listened over the phone or something?
Listen.
You
being
FaceTimed
honest.
him while you was there? Y'all watched it on
We
live.
watched it live. We watched it live.
So you was there in spirit.
Listen,
no
I'm
pun
here.
intended. I like it. Okay.
Listen. I like Chris Paul.
I love Chris Paul. I've tried to model my game after
And
Chris Paul.
I know.
You know
understand. Believe me, I know.
Okay. I take that as a compliment. Thank you. For you to understand the awareness of that thing.
But I also understood, it made me upset for him not to get the accolades because
he was always hurt.
He was always hurt. His team was hurt. They could never get it together, and now that was his knock. He can never win the big games. And then you cannot put him in that upper echelon of point guards because he couldn't get there. And it hurt me because I wanted to push him there. But, it's the same talk with
Kobe, LeBron, Mike. It's hard.
It's difficult when you cannot get there.
Certain things you got to keep out. Like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson has a knock because certain things he's kept out of.
Absolutely.
I'm not
So,
disagreeing
same thing with Charles.
Same thing with Karl Malone.
But what helped them was them getting to the championship. Understand?
And this is the first time in his career where he's had somebody on the perimeter that's just as good
Absolutely.
as him.
Absolutely.
You can't name anybody else. He's had like Mo Peterson, a rookie J.R. Smith, J.J. Redick. He's had those guys.
And West, whatever the point guard, the other guard, what in New Orleans when he was there, I forgot his name.
Not Delonte West.
But yeah, this was a knock for him, and I wanted him to get there. You look at these other greats like we just named, Karl Malone and Charles Barkley. The knock was they didn't get there. Once they got there, we give them a little pass because who did they lose to? Michael Jordan. So now if we look at this, he gets to the conference finals. He takes it 5, 6, 7, and he loses.
Lost to the defending champs, man.
Exactly. You lose to a dynasty.
You're losing to the best team. That's the team that's been the best team in basketball in the last 3 years.
So, yeah, you're gonna get the okay, he didn't win it, but who did he lose to? Talk.
Right.
Now he gets that talk. Before he couldn't get that talk. Before it was a talk of he can't win a big one.
And I don't think it's not even that he got there. It's how he got there.
Yes. Put him on his back. Put him on his back.
Because we've seen James Harden be shaky in the playoffs. Is that fair to say? Or not shaky, but not the
Disappear.
not the 45,
Let's
16
be real.
James
He
Harden.
disappeared. Last year,
He disappeared.
he disappeared.
He's disappeared.
He's disappeared.
He's
Yes,
disappeared.
in OKC, he was young. He disappeared. So, yes, he had that knock.
Let me ask you this now. Is the pressure, I'm glad you said that, because of the whole who he lost to. Is the pressure on the Warriors or the Rockets? Because the Rockets are the best team in basketball this year. And it broke back to my point in Block A, where we indicate the best team in the basketball that year's by record, right? So the best team in basketball, who's more pressure? The team that are the defending champs or the best team in basketball this year, record-wise?
The Houston Rockets.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
More pressures on the Houston Rockets.
Why is that?
3 factors.
Okay.
The coach, D'Antoni.
Okay.
I feel there's pressure on him is because always
He has the knock where you can't get to the finals.
You can't. Can that
You had a
system,
two-time MVP and you
can
couldn't get
that
to the finals.
system work in the playoffs?
Right.
Can it win you a championship?
Right.
That's one. So I look at that aspect. Then you had the whole CP3 aspect of his legacy. His legacy was on the line coming into these playoffs.
So it's still on
Where
the
can
line.
he go? Of course, it got a bump. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at his legacy and can he get over the hump and where this helps him or hurts him of where he will land on that greatest point guard of all time list. Then you look at Harden. Can he win a championship? Can he show up in the big moments?
I think he still has time. I don't
Definitely.
I think he still has
No,
I
I
think he has too
definitely.
much
He
time.
definitely still has time. But what has been the aspect of Harden when it comes to Game 6 or Game 7 in
Shaky
the playoffs?
baby.
Shaky.
Baby. Shaky warrior.
Now, what
Shout
did
out
he
to
do
Drake.
in Game 5, closeout game last night? Even though we just found
18.
out after the game, but he was, I think, 4 for 15
What did we
going.
find out after? For the people that don't know.
He was under the weather. So, but we were looking at those things as soon as he started having a bad shooting, and you seen Donovan Mitchell go for 22 in the third quarter,
I gained a lot of respect for Donovan Mitchell. He took his loss like a champ.
like a champ,
He didn't stay in the locker room. He walked out and took his loss.
with the flip flop on his foot.
He walked out and took his loss.
I like
Respect
that.
for Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, you are the future.
Absolutely,
You are the
Take nothing
future,
away from
Donovan Mitchell. You are the future. Okay, I think the Rockets still have the pressure.
it. Okay,
You're the defending champs 3 years in a
Oh,
row.
so you said the Warriors.
I mean the Warriors.
Oh,
So
okay.
excuse me. The Warriors. You have your NBA Finals 3 times. Defending champs. You still got it. You still can't lose.
But the reason I didn't put the pressure on them, okay, if you look all year, everybody figured this is the dynasty, right? Okay. All year, everybody's been praising the
Rockets.
Rockets. Everybody said if any team in the NBA
Can
can
beat
beat
the Warriors.
the Warriors,
But the Warriors
is
are
the Rockets.
But I say that the Warriors have the pressure because the Warriors are the standard.
Yeah, they're the standard. But if they lose,
They're the
to
measuring
Rockets,
stick.
But if they lose, you have a team that's almost comparable to them. If you lose to a team that everybody said they can beat them, is going to be less.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. And I want to be consistent. We want to stay consistent, right?
Absolutely.
Consistency is key. If LeBron James loses to the Celtics, this whole argument that we had for 45 minutes, this whole discussion goes out the window.
Why? Only people that really feel that the Celtics can beat.
What I'm saying,
The
what I'm saying
Cavs.
is
Who?
if he does lose,
Okay,
if the
if he
Boston
lose?
Celtics do
Okay.
lose to LeBron James, it's like, damn, you lost it. You lost to a team that you weren't supposed to lose to, right? You lost to a team that doesn't have
You're
their best
not
two
supposed
players.
to lose. That doesn't have their best two players. If the Warriors, and that's totally different from the Warriors losing to the Rockets.
Why? They had the second best player in the world.
They got the second best player in the
Third
world,
and third.
and possibly the third best player in the
Possibly
world.
third.
But they're going against a team that been the best team all year, right?
Yeah.
And that's the team that they said can knock that team off.
They can, but I think the Warriors still, as the Warriors, you still gotta. And I think, for the finals purposes, LeBron has a better chance of beating. I think this year he has a better chance of beating the Warriors than he does the Rockets.
Nah. No. I think he has a better chance of beating
The Rockets.
the
than
Rockets.
Warriors? Nah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going against a team that knows LeBron, that's played LeBron 3 years in a row. They know what to do with LeBron. They know what they can do with LeBron. At the end of the day, you can't guard LeBron. Let me
Because
throw
at the
that
end
out
of
there.
the-
You can't.
but
But you know the scheme
And I'm
of
gonna
where
flip
you're
that.
going.
And I'm gonna flip that
Go ahead.
because if you're studying me, like let's take you're the Warriors, I'm LeBron, or you're the Warriors, I'm the Cavs. As much as you know what I'm doing, I know that you know that I'm doing right. Now I'm figuring out more ways to counter.
Let's be real, and I'm glad you're saying this. And it goes back to the whole savant and whole aspect. It's not too much things different LeBron can do on offense. It's either you're going to be able to throw bodies at it. It's not. He's not going to come with a handle out this world. He's not going to come with a go-to move out this world. No, it's nothing really different. LeBron is really going to throw at you. It's going to be those role players. You know what you're going to get from LeBron.
I say this because I think the Rockets are the best at the small ball.
You think the Rockets are
the best at the small ball right now? Like the Warriors can't go small.
The Warriors just started. For the last 2 games,
against the
Iguodala
Pelicans,
at the 5.
Against the Pelicans. Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean the best?
It's not against the team, but you're not playing against a team who went small. Like I think, the thing, what I said, the X factor is, like I said, the X factor is not going to be Chris Paul. The X factor is going to be who Steph Curry guards.
Okay.
Because when you go, because I think a lot with, and it's not about hiding or anything like that, but your second best player offensively has never been challenged on that end of the court.
Okay, but he's guarding Chris Paul.
He's not going to go. No, he's not guarding. You know he's not guarding Chris Paul.
He's not going to. Okay.
No,
okay.
you know that.
So
you know that, Tom.
Look at that.
You
Why
know
not?
that. You know, he's not, bro.
Where you
Either
gonna put
Klay
him?
Thompson or Iggy's going to guard him.
Klay Thompson on Iggy. So you're going to put.
Or Iggy.
All right,
so what I'm saying was Steph Curry.
on PJ Tucker. Okay.
Which you'll live with.
Absolutely.
My point exactly. Now, if you go Chris Paul, Trevor Ariza.
But I don't think they're going to start Iguodala. Sorry to cut you off.
My point exactly.
I don't think
you
they're
can't do
start
it. You can't do it.
I don't
Listen, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Clint Capella. It gets a little bit more dicey. It gets a little bit more dicey.
For who?
For that Warriors team, because you gotta do more with
Steph,
Trevor Ariza than
Clay, Durant,
so
Draymond, and you throw.
So you let Steph, Iggy. So you throw Steph on Trevor Ariza. Okay, you like that? You okay with
Steph on who?
Trevor Ariza.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Why not?
Do that.
Why
PJ
not?
Tucker. Put him on PJ.
No, PJ Tucker's out the game. I sub.
Who start? No, see now you're going to subs. Who starts the game?
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon does not start.
We're talking about through a course of a game with adjustments made.
But with adjustments made, there's different subs coming in for each team. Let's start the game. If you look
let's just take that 5 versus that 5.
What 5?
Chris Paul. James Harden.
Eric Gordon.
Trevor Ariza. Clint
Capella. Okay, so then you have
Iggy with that small ball Warriors lineup that they usually end games with.
Okay, so
for the most part, they end games with that.
So then you have Draymond on Clint Capella, right? You have Clay on Harden. You have Durant on Ariza.
Okay,
right? You have who am I missing? Iguodala on. You put Iguodala on.
Pick your poison. My point exactly. I'm glad this coach. Yo, you're gonna be my assistant. I'm just letting you know you're gonna be my assistant.
You put Iguodala.
You're gonna be my assistant one day. I'm gonna drag you out of this, and you're gonna be my assistant coach one day. You're gonna be a head coach on your own one day. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not gonna be a head. I don't. You know I don't want to coach. You know I don't want to coach.
You don't have a choice. I'm molding you. You don't even know I'm
molding
you.
Not at all.
I'm molding you. You don't even know it.
I'm
molding you. Don't even know it.
I'm not gonna coach.
Pick your poison. Pick your poison. Who you want him on? Chris Paul. Steph got to pick his poison. Either Chris Paul or the reigning 6th man of the year.
Okay, I'm putting him on Chris Paul. I'm gonna put him on Chris Paul.
It gets different.
I'm gonna put him on Chris Paul.
It gets different.
I'm not. Eric Gordon attacks more.
My point is, it gets
Eric
different.
Gordon attacks more.
But the thing is now.
He gets to that ball, he might throw it on.
Now you can't double.
We don't need the double.
Nah,
we don't need the double.
With PJ Tucker, you're doubling.
PJ's not in the game.
But this is what my point.
Now you're throwing different aspects. Now you're throwing different aspects.
I'm adding it to my point. With Steph, you can put Steph on PJ Tucker and even let Steph do a little bit of roaming, because PJ Tucker's you're not going to throw him the ball in the post, and you'll live with him taking jump shots.
Okay.
Right?
He's hitting them now, though, but okay.
I'm still living with him. I'm still living with him.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm still living with him.
Okay, that's fine.
Who is he roaming on? Who is Steph going to roam on? He's not roaming on Chris Paul.
He doesn't have to roam.
My point. Now you got to make him guard more. That's my point. That's why I think the
I'm
Rockets
all right
will be
with
better.
him guarding Chris Paul. Okay. I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Even though he's never guarded Chris Paul.
I'm cool. Yes, he has. Don't do that. Don't do that. See. This is what happens, man. Let's move on.
I like Steph. Don't act like I'm not a Steph Curry fan.
You are.
I mean, huge Steph fan.
You are. But let's move on because I'm tired of it, and we're gonna have to see this.
We're gonna have to see.
Basically, I have the
take-
Warriors.
of course
taking
you have the
it.
Warriors. You're
I
a
got the
Warriors
Warriors
fan.
taking it.
You're a Warriors
I got the
fan.
Warriors taking it.
But
But
Warriors fan.
let's move on to
Fan
some
of
little.
the Warriors.
Okay.
No. Ask my Nick question before we move on.
I am
Ask
going
my
to ask you Nick question.
Ask my
This
Nick
is your question.
Yeah,
This is your question.
I called
The
it, by
Knicks
way.
hired
I called it, by the way.
David
Say I called it.
Fizdale.
No,
We
tell the
both
people
did.
I
We
called
both
it.
said.
Who
Either
called
or.
it first?
Who called it? We both were talking about it. We
No,
both
no,
said
no,
Fizdale
no.
because you asked me, and I said Fizdale. You was like,
You
oh,
agree with me.
I ain't know.
You agree with me.
All right, not a
You
problem.
agree with me.
The Knicks hired David Fizdale. Like or dislike?
Love it. I'm going with a bold prediction. Text me after this. I haven't drinking anything. I feel a little under the weather, though. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, though. We get LeBron James and Chris Paul in free agency.
You get LeBron James and Chris Paul.
in free agency.
You think Chris Paul is leaving Houston?
Especially if he don't get to the finals.
To go to the East? To go to
What point guard in the East is stopping him?
because basically, wait.
To get
So
to the
basically,
finals.
what you say? What point guard and what?
It's stopping him in the East to get to the finals. With that juggernaut on your side. With that juggernaut next to you.
So LeBron, Chris Paul, KP.
Nah, because we going to trade KP and Frank for Kawhi. Yeah.
Come on. You know what? Now you just
You like
come
it or
on.
dislike it?
Come on.
I would
like
do that
it.
trade right now. I honestly think we get Kawhi Leonard. I think we'll make a trade for Kawhi Leonard, though.
He's not going to Knicks.
I think we'll make
Y'all
it
gonna
for-
happen. He's not gonna go to Knicks unless you really might get LeBron, but he's not. LeBron's not going there. LeBron's not going to Knicks. He has a better chance going to Brooklyn. He don't like the Knicks. He doesn't like the Knicks organization anymore. It's a dub. He doesn't like it.
Dan Gilbert, he don't like Dan Gilbert neither, so he leave it. He
Listen.
coming to the Knicks.
He's not. But
Knicks
I like
take-
it. How can I not like it?
Knicks take.
A lot of people were a little upset actually.
Why? Who did they want? Mark Jackson?
No. Media fans wanted Mark, but
Those are the only two people
real
I wanted.
people,
Mark Jackson
no,
or David.
but a lot of people, media outlets would say, "Oh, why Budenholzer
Who?
didn't get it
Who?
from
Who?
from
Who
the Hawks, the Hawks
Who?
coach."
Because the Hawks have been in the lottery the last 3 years. That's
Yeah,
why.
But
That's why. No, no,
resume wise,
that's
he
why.
has the best resume out of all of them.
I don't care.
I'm just letting you know. But
What have
I
you done
agree.
for me lately?
That's true. He had a 60-win team, took him to the playoffs, this, that, and the third. But no, he had resume wise, he has the best.
Yeah.
But I
He's also been
understand it.
coaching longer than David Fizdale.
Fizdale was on the Miami Heat bench, so I get it. I understand it. So we both agree.
I love
We
David
both like
Fizdale
it.
because he's relatable to the young guys. He's still young enough to relate.
That's why I like it.
He's relatable to the young guys. We have a young team. We got to build through the
It's
youth.
not- they
In the
don't need
NBA,
no-
the new
no-
prototype is now. The NBA is now turning. It's changing again. It's going to change again, where you're no longer going to team up. You're not teaming up anymore. I don't think that's going to fizzle out, and you're going to have to start rebuilding through the youth. I.e. Utah, I.e. Boston, i.e. Philly. Philly's going to be dominant. In the next 2 years, Philly's going to be dominant.
I'm gonna ask you a question too when we come back from break. I gotta ask you a question.
Tune in
we
to
both
topics
like
here
it.
on IBX Radio.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music. Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, we're topics here on IBNX Radio.
I have actually a question. So before we switch boards, 'cause I know
We're about to
people are
switch
tired.
boards, but you brought up an interesting topic. Quick question. I heard Charles Barkley bring this up. Would you rather be
The Boston
The
Celtics or the
Celtics
76ers? 76ers.
76ers?
76ers easily.
because they got 2 stars?
Two superstars.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the Boston Celtics do have the best coach in basketball. But I like the future of both of your stars haven't been in the league 5 years. No, I'm lying. Joel Embiid's been in the league the last 9 years.
Come on, man. Listen. What we're not gonna do is start fabricating things.
What only thing I don't like about Philly is y'all talk too much. Joel Embiid is talking way too much
That's
to be
him.
down 3-0.
That's him.
Shut your mouth.
It's 3-1 actually. It's 3-1 now.
Okay, it's 3-1.
Okay.
Bye. You're going home tonight. by the way.
Regardless of the fact, stay true
But
to
I would,
who you are.
I would rather be Philly.
Regardless,
I would rather be Philly. I like Philly. And
Okay.
I think Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid will attract more guys than Boston will. Like another piece.
Okay.
Because now all they need is another perimeter guy to get to create a shot. Because
Yes.
Ben Simmons, he can't. He just doesn't have it in his game. Doesn't have it in his game.
Okay. I agree with you. Moving on. Some baseball talk.
Yeah.
Our team,
Yeah.
Yankees have won 16 of the last 17.
Lord!
18 in a row. Then they go into yesterday 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox. Take game 1. Now they're tied
Talking.
for first place. What are your thoughts on the series?
Love
and
it. Love it. Love it.
where do you rank this sports rival?
Third.
Ooh. Ooh. So you love the rivalry, okay. And you like
I love the
what they're
series.
doing.
The thoughts of it is, that's gonna. I mean, you can't argue the top 3 most best rivalries in sports. Can't argue. You can't argue. I mean, it's perfect. I wish I was there. I think whoever's gonna be home is gonna take most of those series during the year. And the way the playoff matchup is, whoever gets home field advantage will advance in the series. That's just my thing. That's just my opinion, right? I got third, the best sports rivalry in my opinion, Duke, North Carolina.
Okay.
Might be a little biased to college basketball, might not be. I think that's the best sports rivalry.
Okay.
Second one, Lakers versus Celtics, because that changed the culture of basketball. That rivalry saved the NBA.
The rivalry save, okay.
The NBA finals were now live because of those two teams. Remember before
pre-recorded.
Before the NBA finals were always pre-recorded. The NBA finals are now live
Because of that.
Boston Celtics. Los Angeles Lakers. Then the longevity, the history, the names, the Babe Ruths, the Lou Gehrig's, the Kurt Schillings, the Roger Clemens, the Pedro Martinez, the Manny Ramirez, the list goes on. The Jason Varitek, even down to the coaches. Both sides. Third best rivalry in sports.
Okay. I'll take nothing away from that. I love the series. It's not, as a Yankee fan, there's nothing I can say bad about this rivalry. I'm from New York. It's one of the greatest rivalries ever. So I love this time. They play each other all year. AL East. They battle. They fight. So, I like the series. I'm glad that they won 3-2 yesterday. They're playing again today. Basically, the Yankees are doing now what we wanted them to do. We expected them to do.
We did say it was going to take them a while.
Did.
We
And
did say
when they started off slow, I said, I'm not going to, I'm not
I
going
hit the panic button a little
I'm not
bit.
going to
I
get
hit the
scared. I
panic button a
understand
little
this
bit.
early.
Just a little bit.
I understand. Our lineup is doing
What they're supposed to do.
what they're supposed to do, and what had to follow was our pitching. Our pitching needed to catch up to our bats,
Imagine
which they
getting
did.
hit by 103 mile an hour fastball.
Insane.
What would you
I used to play baseball, but
What would you do? Somebody hit you at 103 mile an hour.
where they hit me at,
Don't matter. He hit you.
it depends. It depends. It's part of the game sometimes.
Hit you like on your back, like lower back, top of the boot.
Sometimes it's part of the game.
Part of the
It's
game.
part of the game.
When he
Now,
hit you like on your
towards the
shoulder.
head,
Nah, it's
it's
over.
crazy.
It's over.
No, it's over.
different.
It's over. It's different.
Blacking out.
Everybody.
All right. Somebody got to die.
That night. That night. So I love the rivalry. I love it. Now where does it rank? I was generally like you, 3, 4 in that aspect. I had UNC and Duke number 1. I did. That rivalry is, I had to.
You growing up right in front of mine. I'm so proud of you.
Dean Smith, Coach K. Is just that's epic.
And the rivalry is so even.
So even.
The rivalry is so even.
That's the reason
the
I
record
put
is
it
so
there.
even.
That's why I put it up there. And then I looked at other rivalries you have. Why am I going crazy? Oh, Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, that's another good one. I forgot about
Michigan,
that.
Ohio State from
No.
1922. They've been going at it, so I had to put that up there.
Who you like more, Ohio State or Michigan?
Ohio State.
Really?
Been an Ohio State fan.
I didn't know that. I thought you were Alabama fan.
Yes, but I'm talking about.
See, here we go. You
No,
be having
no.
a lot of teams.
No,
That was
no.
my point behind that.
No, see, we're not even gonna talk about
All right,
that.
my
But
fault.
like I was saying,
My
I looked at that rivalry, and what's great about that rivalry, Boston was the first real dynasty, right?
I forgot the name. Ted Williams. I apologize, Mr. Williams.
First real dynasty. And what switched everything around is when they gave us Babe Ruth.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, appreciate you. And then that was the curse of the Bambino.
Good looking dog.
And they didn't win for 86 years.
Good looking dog.
So the rivalry had to drop a little bit because they wasn't really a
For 86
rival
years, they ain't
for like 85 years.
For a lifetime.
You
Somebody's
know?
lifetime.
So
For
So-
a century, 85% of a century.
Absolutely. But as New Yorkers, we love that. But you know, when you look at outside, like the Duke and UNC, that's everywhere. That's national. Michigan.
Nah, I mean
that's
the Yankees,
national.
Boston is national.
No, it's more when they weren't winning. Nobody cared about Boston, but New York. Like we hated Boston. You understand? It went to basketball. We hated the Celtics. Like so.
I apologize.
It's all right, not a problem. But no, so I looked at that. So like, yeah, I looked at around 3, 4. You know, there's other things you could look up. We don't really do hockey, but there's rivalries there. When
Liverpool and Man U.
Like who?
Liverpool and Man U. Is that a rivalry?
That is a rivalry.
That's violent.
Yeah,
That might kind of that. I think that might have trumped the Yankees in.
That's different.
That might trump. I think that might trump the Yankees in Boston.
We're gonna have to look that up.
We're gonna have to look that up.
We're gonna see.
Because I know
If anybody knows about that, you can
I'm talking about
call
like the
in.
hood is divided. Like if you live on this side, you got to root for them. If you live on this side, that's like some Romeo and Juliet stuff.
That's different. The Capulets and the what was the other one?
I failed.
But no, but those are great rivalries. We got next.
A little early. Very, 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 very early. Very early. I'm going to say it again. Very early. Offensive and defensive rookie of the year in the NFL. Who's your picks? Go defense first because I know offensively who you're going to pick.
I mean, defensively, to be honest with you, it's hard for me not to pick Bradley Chubb.
Because he's going to get a lot of one-on-ones.
Exactly.
I'm going to go against the grain.
Okay. Who?
Micah Fitzpatrick.
Why?
Don't think he's going to see that many dynamic wide receivers in this division.
I agree with that.
So I think his numbers are going to be because he's going to be playing against your first string is probably going to be your second, third best wide receiver on another team, right? And most of those teams do this. So even if he gets one-on-one coverage, he's not going to be like, oh, this is the disadvantage.
But that's why I think it's going to knock him with his numbers.
I think his numbers is going to be pretty good.
I don't think they'll be as high.
Only person you're going to have to see is like Tom Brady, but you still got the Bills, rookie quarterback, Jets, soon lives a rookie quarterback. Who else is there? No, that's the 4 teams. I think he'll be fine. I just didn't want to pick Bradley Chubb because Bradley Chubb is just going to be one-on-one on the outside. He's going to run around everybody and knock helmets off. It's not going to be fair.
Lord.
But I think they're going to knock him because he also has Von Miller. So the way you think his numbers, Micah Fitzpatrick's numbers, are going to be knocked, I think his numbers are going to get knocked. Like, could he do that if he didn't have Von Miller?
But it's different though because he's going to have those tackles.
He's already going to a very good defense.
Even though if he goes to
Micah Fitzpatrick going to a bad team.
Okay.
I think that's why.
I just don't think his numbers will jump like that. But offensively, you know who I got. Saquon Barkley.
Yes, sir.
With my Giants.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be a stud. He's going to do what he do. I like it.
Great pick.
Amazing pick.
I'm going Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
I like Baker Mayfield.
I like it.
I like Baker Mayfield. You got.
I actually thought that you would go Sam Darnold.
Why? Could you put it to Jets?
Yes.
Who you going to throw it to? You going to throw it to me? You might as well. He ain't got nobody else to throw it to.
If he has a great season.
So who is he going to throw it to?
Listen,
you haven't named who he's throwing the ball
to. It doesn't matter because sometimes we don't know who these receivers, and they still can catch. They're receivers for a reason. Even though we don't know who they are, doesn't mean they can't catch the ball. Just because we don't know who they are does not mean they can't catch the ball.
I'm afraid the ball won't get there.
Why? Offensive line is not bad. The offensive line is not bad for the Jets. It's not.
I'm not going with Sam Darnold.
But
I also don't think Sam Darnold's not going to start right away.
Okay.
That's another thing. Remember, he might sit. So he might not. He might miss
Baker
out.
might sit first, too.
I don't think Baker's going to sit.
He might.
I don't think so. I'm going with Baker Mayfield only because not only does he have 2 good wide receivers, he has wide receivers that can go make plays. That can turn a 5-yard catch into a 25-yard play.
They're going to start Tyrod Taylor.
I don't think so.
I think they are.
I don't think so.
But all right, that's cool.
I got Baker Mayfield.
Cool. Keeping it football. Big Ben Roethlisberger stated, and I quote, anybody that watches the draft, watches the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they drafted Mason Rudolph.
Which I like.
Quarterback.
Which I liked.
Quarterback.
Which I liked.
So, Ben Roethlisberger was asked about the pick and on radio, and his quote was, "Not sure how drafting Mason Rudolph helps the team win now." What are your thoughts on that?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Why?
Shut up. Shut your mouth. Well, not shut your mouth, but it's kind of like my thing was this time last year. He was like he talking about retiring. Like, I don't know how much I got left in me.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden you want to come back and play 3 more to 5 years? Now you would come back and do that? No. I don't know. One day Ben Roethlisberger might wake up and be like, I'm done, and you have nobody as your backup. At least now you're prepared in case he wakes up in one of those moods. I think that's what the pick was. We need to get somebody who we think is going to be pretty good, who can develop, who can sit behind a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And just in case our Hall of Famer wakes up one day and be like, I'm not showing up for work. I'm tired of y'all. I quit. You're not calling Keanu Reeves. That's why I think they drafted him, and that's why I agree with the draft.
Okay. If I was him, I would have said the same thing.
He doesn't help you win right away.
I would have said the same thing if I'm Ben Roethlisberger. I had no problem with what he said.
But it's not like you took him in the first round either.
I had a problem with who said it. And the reason is, on the other aspect of why I'm mad he said it, is because, dude, you've been trying to retire mid-season for the last 3 years. Okay? Front office needs to understand, okay, you're in your 14th year?
80th year. All that matters.
Understand?
Yeah.
You're contemplating retirement every year. We need a fallback plan. Okay? We need to start grooming someone. We didn't take him in the first round. We didn't take him in the second round. We need to groom. Understand. Okay? Now, on the other aspect of the reason, if I was Ben Roethlisberger, why I would have said the same thing is because my mentality as a player is I need to win now. I'm here now. Okay? Give me, I'm the ace here. This is my team. We need to win now. And another quarterback is not what we need to win. He's not playing now.
What do you need to win? You got the best running back in football. You got the best wide receiver in football.
Okay, add to the defense. That secondary was horrible. Horrible.
And they also drafted one of the Edwards brothers from Virginia Tech to kind of step in Ryan Shazier's place. So I think they did step and make picks that helped them win right away.
Okay. Well, that secondary still needs to be touched. They were getting touched, week in and week out, and they got really touched again when they played the Patriots. What gets us past the Patriots? Not a backup quarterback. So, I mean, I understood it. But he can't say that because of what you keep dangling your franchise over your head. Like, all right, you have to stop. Some more football. Mark Ingram was suspended 4 games for PEDs. How does this affect the Saints for the start of the 2018 season?
I think it hurts.
Really?
I think Alvin Kamara was able to be as dynamic as he was because he had Mark Ingram. It's like, I think now teams for the first 4 weeks, and those 4, we've seen different because the Saints struggled the first 4 weeks last year. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Well, yeah. They didn't. They lost their first 3 and then they won.
Yeah.
Next 4 after they got rid of AP.
Yeah. So, I think it hurts him. I think Mark Ingram was now starting to find kind of starting to become all right, seasoned vet, very, very, not a very good player.
Pro Bowl, back to back.
He was starting to really now hit his stride. And I think that momentum, him losing 4 games, kind of hurts that momentum. And if it hurts him, I think it hurts the Saints because he's a big part of that Saints offense and what they do.
Okay. I don't think they will miss him, but I don't think it will hurt them. I think they can still go 3-1. I got to look at the schedule, but Kamara is dynamic.
Yes, sir.
Him getting more touches and the savant that Sean Payton is. Yes, I'm using this word today. This is my word today. Savant is my word today.
Spell it.
Savant is my word today.
Spell it.
Don't do that because if you want to bet, we can bet.
Why you want to bet? I just said spell it.
Because Don't leave me. I know what I mean.
I
know what
didn't
do.
say that.
Listen,
I wanted to use it tomorrow at work.
you gonna use it tomorrow?
I wanted to use it at work tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
But
Thank you.
I can't do it because I don't know how to spell it. So thank you.
I got you. Don't
No,
worry.
I
about
don't
it.
want to know it now. Forget
Why-
it. Go
why
ahead.
not?
Continue your
You
point.
sure? All right, don't worry. We'll talk about it later.
No, I won't talk about it later.
I don't think it will hurt them at that aspect. So, I think Kamara's going to get more touches. He's going to get more touches. I still think the offense is going to flow. The only aspect I think is going to be a little bit different is that, Ingram was in between tackles, bruising that defense. Then you had Kamara coming in on the outside, in the passing game. But Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they'll figure it out. 4 games.
You know why they're going to figure it out? Because Deuce McAllister's coming back from retirement.
You just said Deuce McAllister. Listen, if nobody knows who Deuce McAllister, Google Deuce McAllister.
I thought that was funny. Just drop random
Google
people.
him.
Let's just drop random people like Deuce McAllister.
Okay, so they're going to get Reggie Bush, too.
Nah, I want Reggie. I want Deuce.
Why not?
Deuce! I want Deuce.
Listen, they're still going to be good. Kamara's going to get more touches. They'll still probably go 3-1. He'll come back, and they'll hit their stride. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be too insane.
Last question of the night. My favorite
this
topic.
This is for you.
No.
This is for you.
Why is it for me?
This is for you because this is where you excel.
You think so? I don't excel in no other sport with this one. So you're not saying I'm not that good.
Listen,
at
first and
other
foremost,
sports. I'm just asking a question.
You excel. Like you show your distance in this aspect. You understand what I'm saying? You show your college basketball is Chris Harris.
Duke and Kentucky now had the top 2 recruiting classes in the country. In opinion, through ESPN. Who this class do you like more?
I mean, it's hard for me not to pick Duke. They have the 1, 2, and 3 best players. So it's hard for me not to pick them.
And I think all 3 of them will be subpar pros. But go ahead.
But we
for
can't,
right now.
But we
can't
but
speculate.
we're not
for
talking
right now.
about pros. We're talking about on that college system. I really
like Duke.
I like Duke. Them having the top 3 recruits with Coach K.
And Trey Jones is another good one. Tyus Jones' younger brother. It's pretty cool. Not as good as brother, but another good one.
But they're with Coach K.
Gonna go with Kentucky.
I figured that.
Not because I'm biased.
So what is it?
I feel like Coach K. I mean, not Coach K. I feel like Cal has more pieces to fit to what he wants to do. E.J. Montgomery, 6'10 lefty, from Marietta, Willa High School, going to Kentucky. McDonald's All-American this year. Shout out to E.J. He's going to be on alongside Nick Richards, so you don't get bruised on the inside. Now you had that big. You're probably going to have Wenyen Gabriel back. Those recruits are going to be able to do what they do best. They're not going to have to do more. They're not going to have to will those guys like the past few Kentucky freshmen.
Were you surprised Nick stayed?
No. What? No. What were we supposed to do? We were supposed to enter the draft?
I know a couple of people that entered the draft. I don't think they should enter.
Nah.
Be honest with you.
Should have stayed.
Okay.
Should have stayed. So you got E.J. Montgomery. You're going to get Wenyen Gabriel back. Now that front line is still... Even if P.J. Washington comes back, you just made your front line better. The thing was with
if he comes back, they're going to be...
Now, with another point, Kentucky. What were their Achilles heel this year?
What, just one?
The main one, when you watch it. Couldn't shoot the ball.
So now you have somebody that can stretch the
Tyler
ball.
Hero. Shooter. Manuel Quickly.
Shooter.
Bigger guard with a 6'4" that can shoot it. So you kind of you lose Shea Gilgeous, but you gain another one. Same build, same type of player, a little bit better offensively than Shea. Correct. Keldon Johnson, a manimal on the wing. Attack, athletic, strong, along with those returning guys. I like Kentucky.
Okay. Good breakdown. This is your topic. This is what you excel in.
And I feel like those guys gonna have to come in and do more than they can or more than they can.
Maybe. We'll see what Coach K got. But we have to go. It was a great show. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. I'm Tone Taylor.
And I'm Chris Harris. Everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Topics here on IBNX Radio. Thank you.
IBNX Radio.